Hello and welcome into the Rotowire Esports Show. I am not Ethan Sexton. I am Andrew Laird, taking over for Ethan today and for the next couple of days. But thankfully, we have we still have our actual expert here in DFS Chan Chen. We go way back. At least it feels like way back. But this is the first time we've done a show, so I'm pretty excited here.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you back on the League of Legends videos. I know you've been busy with the Euro soccer stuff and other sports, but yeah, welcome back. And for those of you who don't know, Ethan's on vacation, so Andrew's filling in, but we're still gonna have really great contents on here. So
that's right. Well, that's the plan, at least. You're gonna have to carry us like Ethan was always carrying when I was on. But we are early week. We have our 2-game LPL slates. We obviously had a 2-game one this morning. OMG and Invictus taking home sweeps. Rogue Warriors forever the temptation, but seems to never deliver when we really need it.
yeah, well, what a chalky slate. I mean, OMG and Invictus were both favorites, and yeah. I said on the video yesterday that the OMG versus Rogue Warriors would produce more kills and has more of a kill upside. But it turns out Invictus wanted to show up. And actually, the fact that their bottom lane got a new 80 carry and a new support for today's series helped out a lot. So that kind of gave us a new look for Invictus, which looked really good. But OMG, I mean, they were in the bottom tier just like Rogue Warriors last split and last season, but OMG has been playing really well, and it looks like that they can beat good teams, but also bad teams, take care of business against bad teams like Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, I feel like that's always the thing you have to worry about is if when you face a bad team, it's do they show up? Like, do they have to show up? And if they do they actually do it? And so that might be something that we have to deal with for this Tuesday slate. We've got LNG and Thunder Talk. LNG, just a fairly substantial favorite. And then Rare Atom and Top, which is a nice close one. I believe Top's a smaller favorite in that one. But I guess the only concern, and I can't imagine it's really a concern, but I guess the concern that you can have is, will LNG have to do enough to score all these points to make them the reasonable long stack against one of Rare Atom or Top?
Yeah, no, that's obviously the $1 million question on these 2-game slates. But yeah, the first matchup is between LNG and Thunder Talk. LNG has been playing lights out. They've been beating really good teams, elite teams rather, so far in the split. I know Ale in the top lane has been playing amazing, and the Tarzan and Icon. So the top 3 players, top laner, jungler, and the mid laner have been playing really well. Comparatively, in the last split, it was Light and Iwandi on the bad LNG team. They were the gatekeeper team, but they were beating bad teams, but they were losing against elite teams last split. So it kind of has reversed a little bit, that their top 3 players have been, in terms of the map laning phase, they've been playing really well. So yeah, I think they're gonna take care of business here. I mean, my prediction would be LNG 2-0. Just the fact that, I mean, they're in such great form, and Thunder Talk doesn't really scare me. So yeah, on the other side of the matchup, you have Thunder Talk, and they've been playing decent in certain spots of the games, but I think they're just gonna be outmatched and outclassed by the LNG roster here.
Yeah, one of the things I do with our cheat sheets, which we have up here, I try to go to the team stats, but it's like, all right, well, just when you see this, you're like, not everybody's played a lot. And, it just gets ugly when you look at Thunder Talk. And it's like, I go into this slate, they're such huge underdogs. And it's like, is the leverage there? Obviously, the leverage is there if you want to play them. But it just seems like you may as well throw them out and just try to get creative with the other 3 teams on the slate. And obviously, we need the winner of Rare Atom Top, but I don't know. I can't imagine anybody's really playing Thunder Talk expecting much tomorrow.
Yeah, I think LNG should take care of business. But if I were to give you a reason to play Thunder Talk, like you said, well, obviously number 1 would be the leverage, just the ownership standpoint. But also number 2, they do play very fast. They have the fastest combined kills per minute pace. amongst the 4 teams on the slate. So their pace is at 0.95, which is higher than the rest 3 remaining teams that we have on the slate. So that would be another reason to play them, because if they do win, if they do pull off an upset, they are likely to score very well against LNG. But then at the same time, on the other side, LNG has the lowest, at the slowest pace and lowest combined kills per minute pace on the slate. So, I mean, that kind of worries me about your question, whether to make the LNG, the team you get the long stack from. But at the same time, I mean, it's a more of a matchup based analysis. So I think Thunder Talk, the fact that if you think Thunder Talk will stay in the game for a little while until LNG pulls off, then LNG will score well as a favorite, even though they have a slower pace. So yeah, I mean, I like LNG to take care of business just based on the form, and I would like to get 4 players or 3 players in a team from the LNG team.
Let me hold off on that question, actually. Hold on. So in the other one, we obviously have a pretty close matchup between Rare, Adam, and Top. Do you have a lean one way or the other? Like Top's the favorite, and so salary-wise, it's not as easy to play them with LNG. So do you think a lot of people try to do a non-carry captain and get LNG Top, or are we going to see enough LNG RA lineups?
I think the ownership will be very spread out amongst between Top Esports and Rare Atom. Obviously, Top Esports is more well-known, and I'm sure a lot of people flock to that team just based on the name recognition.
Sure.
I think in terms of the actual skills or actual play and form this split so far, I know Rare Atom has been playing very well. I mean, they've been very solid, but on the other side, Top Esports hasn't been playing well with their new top laner in Ching Tian. So I think Top, people predicted that Top was going to be a slow starting team in the split so far because of that new top laner. So that's a really close matchup in my opinion, and I'm going to have to give the edge to Rare Atom. I know that Top is a favorite according to the Vegas odds, but just based on form and based on the fact that Rare Atom has played more elite teams so far in the series, I think they're battle tested, and Top Esports, in my opinion, is not as good as those elite teams that they already played against.
Okay.
So I like that Rare Atom to pull off an upset here 2-1.
All right. I love this. All right. So the question I was going to ask before, which kind of plays into this, we obviously on a 2-game slate, we have the possibility of a game stack, which we know that Ethan really hates. And I guess when it seems a little weird to consider an LNG Thunder Talk game stack because obviously they're so it's so lopsided.
Right.
So the game stack, if you do Top and Rare Atom, obviously comes down to whether you get enough points in that third game to overcome the games not played bonus, likely from LNG. However, if Thunder Talk can play this pace and somehow get to a third game, it does seem somewhat reasonable that series could be higher scoring than the Top Rare Atom. Am I just like clutching at straws here? Or, I mean, obviously Thunder Talk getting to a third game would be almost like an upset. So I don't know if if that happens, theoretically they don't do it in like a low pace game because that's just not how they want to play. So if they're able to get like one higher scoring game off of LNG, do you think possibly an LNG Thunder Talk outcome could happen?
It could. And on a 2-game slate like this, it's definitely a consideration you have to take into account. But for this slate particularly, I do not want to game stack any of these series.
Okay.
I think, like I said, Thunder Talk and Top Esports play on the faster side, and then both Rare Atom and LNG play on a little bit of a slower side. So just the fact that you have one fast-paced team and then one slow team in each of those matchups, I think it's just going to be, similarly paced games, in both matchups. So I don't like, I would not recommend game stack here, but at the same time, but like what you were considering in terms of going to game 3 and all, I mean, that's something that you'll definitely have to consider in deciding whether to long stack a team from each of those matchups. Yes.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I feel like we're pretty much just walking into an LNG long stack, like for whoever, starting your lineups and LNG long stack. And obviously, like I was saying, top is expensive enough where you're not going to be able to get carry captains. But obviously, if you think Rare Atom win, then you can play LNG Rare Atom. I'm trying to just think of like ways to get unique from that. I do think that top will be more popular. So you're kind of getting a little leverage there by playing Rare Atom, but just being able to play a light captain with LNG long stack and Rare Atom, like I feel like that's probably the chalkiest build. Maybe Icon captain, one of those two, I feel like should be really popular, and I guess I should try to avoid that in tournaments.
Yeah, and like you said, I think most people will flock to light as the captain, their AD carry, but in fact, this split so far. Icon, like I said, the top laner and the jungler and the mid laner for LNG have carried that team in the split so far. Light and Iwandi have been kind of just mediocre in my opinion. It's possible that the game in the late game that Light, their AD carry, can rack up some kills at the end as an AD carry, obviously, but in terms of the game stats, it shows that Icon is probably going to perform better, projected to play better, score better compared to Light. So captaining Icon, the mid laner, if you are stacking LNG and the underdog and Rare Atom in the other matchup, that might be a leverage that can win you some cash games or GPP games, because I don't think you're going to be losing out or sacrificing much if you captain Icon versus Light.
And you're okay with having the double mid, or basically you're not going to be able to play. Well, I guess you could play iBoy from Rare Atom because you're not playing Light. Yeah. All right. I'm walking into a lineup here.
Yeah, so iBoy has been decent as well, but iBoy and Fofo looks like they both are around 69 to 70% kill participation percentage. So even though iBoy has a higher kill share compared to Fofo, I mean, I like that Icon Fofo stack if you are stacking LNG and Rare Atom. But yeah, I mean, that's the question you always have to consider and on a 2-game slate like this. But what I personally look at is, stacking their kill participation percentages and then also kill shares. But at the end, if you are still stuck there in choosing what to stack or who to stack, I go to the Rotowire's opponent's average page, and it shows how many. It's also on the cheat sheet, but also it shows that how many points by position that each team has given up. So that tells me, like, if top esports has given up the most points, versus the opponent's top laner or the jungler, then, that kind of gets you the edge that you're looking for.
Yep. And of course, what just as we're saying, Thunder, the most kills allowed on the slate to position Thunder Talk to mid laners. So there we are.
Looks like top esports giving up most points and to mid laner too. So yeah, I mean, I think that might be the solution there. So
gotta love when the stats line up right with your discussion, as if we planned it, and yeah, we didn't. So that's nice. So it seems you might be able to go the opposite. And obviously, like, do you like Icon more than Fofo, or is it just that you like LNG more than Rare Atom? Like, I wonder if just switching them gives you enough leverage to be somewhat unique. You can still do an LNG long stack, but maybe a Fofo captain or something like that. And
yeah, some people do. I've seen those lineups or take down GPPs before. 3-4 reversed. Short stack captain.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, Fofo. I've seen Fofo that in the split so far has gone off and He is one of the explosive players. He can go off at any time, depending on what kind of champions he plays or how the game strip goes, obviously. But yeah, but if I were to just compare Icon and Fofo on a side by side basis, I like Icon much better.
Okay.
Icon has been the engine of that team, in my opinion. So I think their team goes as Icon goes. So if you think LNG will score well, I think Icon would be the go-to guy.
Yep, makes sense. And also very much expected to get the games not played bonus. Obviously, Fofo doesn't as an underdog. So do you think? Yeah. So how about that? Do you think Rare Atom 2-1s or sweeps?
2-1. I think Rare Atom's gonna 2-1, and I don't know. I mean, I just don't feel that confident in that new roster for Top Esports. I just haven't seen that team gel, and I haven't seen their synergy yet in team fights perform well. So I like, I'm more of a, risk averse guy. I like consistency in teams. So Rare Atom has shown that this split so far. So I think in a best of 3 series, I like that. I like to bet on that more than Top Esports, just having more talent individually, so I like that better. And then, so yeah, if I were to stack some players for Rare Atom, like I said, I mean, I like Fofo, but also at the same time, Cube, surprisingly, their top laner, possesses the highest kill participation percentage amongst all players on the slate. So that is very surprising. I mean, obviously, in this new meta for League of Legends, the top laners have been playing a lot more aggressive champions. So they've been getting involved in a lot of team fights comparatively. In the last split, in the spring split, the top laners are always the second thought, where you fill in last, you fill in the carries first, and then you fill in the top laner last. But it's a different story in the split, and I like Cube and Fofo for Rare Atom. And then on the other side of the matchup, I like, I like Knight. If you were to stack 2 favorites, which, most people do in cash games, and then, in GPPs, Knight has been playing lights out. Jackie Love has been, Jackie Love is Jackie Love. I mean, he can go off at any time, but
yeah,
he's been kind of mediocre, with that new roster. So I like Knight and Karsa for the Top Esports to stack.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Did we touch? I think we got everyone I was looking for.
Yeah, I mean, if somehow you were to stack Thunder Talk, yeah, I mean, Langshi, he's an old veteran guy who's been, I think Ethan said it in the last video, but he's been moving, from another team to team and just moving around because he's just, one of those guys who can fill in the roster spot. but yeah, otherwise, I mean, if you were to stack Thunder Talk in a deep GPP, I mean, I prefer Xiaopeng, their jungler, and then YE, their mid laner. I like them too as well, because I know their bottom lane has struggled a bit, and I think they're going to struggle again against Light and Wandi against LNG. So, yeah. So if you were to long stack TT, that would be those 2 guys. And then for LNG, I mentioned it, Icon and Ale. I like those 2 for LNG.
Okay. Yeah. If you love leverage, Thunder Talk is right there waiting for you. So there's that. If anybody has any follow-up questions for me or Chan, you can find us at Rotowire Andrew and at DFS_Chan on Twitter. We're also available in the Rotowire Discord, which is open for all subscribers. Just go to rotowire.com/chat to join that. If you are not a Rotowire subscriber and want to try us out for free for 10 days with no credit card required, which gets you access to the entire site, all the sports we cover, as well as that Discord chat, just go to rotowire.com/try. That's TRY. Like I said, access to everything we do. So definitely feel free to take care of that, or take advantage of that, excuse me. If you've enjoyed the video, if you could please hit the like button below, that definitely goes a long way for us to get the video seen more and to allow us to do some more videos. So definitely hit that like button. Thank you very much for that. Chan, good to talk to you. And we'll be back tomorrow for yet another slate. Good luck.
Sounds good. Good luck, everybody. Thank you.